Hey everybody, welcome to the vlog. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be visiting a place that's very near and dear to my heart, Circle B Bar Reserve. I love going out there. There's always so much to see. So this time I'm going to take my bicycle and go for a little ride all the way around the perimeter. So come join me. Should be a lot to see. Should be beautiful. Let's go have an outdoor adventure. Circle Bar B Reserve, or just Circle B as the locals call it, was acquired back in the year 2000. The Nature Discovery Center, which you see here, was opened about 5 years later. The main viewing room features lots of informational signage and hands-on interactive displays designed to educate people about the local ecology. The Discovery Center also has indoor and outdoor meeting rooms, an outdoor amphitheater, a conference room, and several classrooms. These classrooms are used often as school kids from miles around get to take class field trips here. When you get completely surrounded by such majestic old oak trees, bent and twisty and gnarly and moss covered, it really kind of is like you're in a natural cathedral. Circle B has over 1,200 acres of land. Back in the 1950s, a rancher dug a canal through the middle of the swamp, installed some pumps, and drained the water to create pasture land for raising cattle, which he did successfully for many decades. Back in the year 2000, he sold the land to the Environmental Lands Program, an agency tasked with acquiring and protecting land in its natural state. A series of levees and drainage pipes were built across the area, and the land was allowed to reflood. These levees slow the flow of water coming into Circle B, allowing the plants time to filter out pollutants before the water eventually drains into Lake Hancock. This colored map is a really good indicator of where most of the water from Peace River comes from. Each different color area is a watershed, which according to the sign is basically, you can think of as just a large area of land that all drains into a common location. So for instance, all the pink here drains into Saddle Creek, which comes into Lake Hancock. All this yellow area here is kind of southeast Lakeland, all drains into Banana Lake, which then drains out Banana Creek, which comes into Circle B is right here. So this runs right through the middle of Circle B, and it's filtered out and cleaned before it goes into Lake Hancock. Auburndale area drains through Lena Run. Eagle Lake area basically just kind of drains surface-wise into the eastern side of Lake Hancock, all of which, Angry Bird, drains down into Lower Saddle Creek, which when it hits Highway 60 becomes Peace River. There's a beautiful array of life on this lake. It's one of the few remaining unspoiled lakes around. Almost no development on it. And it is just loaded with alligators. Every little bump you see out there. It's probably an alligator. This is the observation dock. Oh, hi. So here on Alligator Alley, we have any number of gators. This is overlooking Lake Hancock. And got a decent sized critter right there. And a fairly good sized one out there. When they float up that high in the water, they're kind of putting on a display for any rivals in the area. Look how big and bad I am. And if that's not your thing, well then, how about that one? Right here off the shoreline. And as you can see, here in the early spring, well, this is the first part of April, all the trees are flushing out beautifully in that gorgeous emerald color that trees down here only get this time of year. Probably not going to come through very well in this photo, but oh, there you go. And there's a snowy egret and a gator that just got interested, maybe, in the snowy egret. As you travel along the path on this path being Alligator Alley, you'll notice there's lots of high grass on either side, grasses and bushes. But every now and then you come to an area that has kind of a low area to it. And these are critter crossings, basically. Alligators and turtles will come up from one side, cross the path and go down. And here's a good example of another opening in the grass where the creatures can go out and slide down, as is the case here. Up there we have an osprey having breakfast. Big part of what makes an alligator such a successful predator is its ability to blend in with its surroundings. How many alligators do you see? And there we have a limpkin. Eat snails and fish. They patrol the shoreline looking for food. Alligators and birds aren't the only ones that patrol the shoreline. Hey, little critter, what you got? Tearing into something. Is there? Okay. Yep. Very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Probably hard to see, but here we have mama gator, and over here on this clump we have baby gators. There they go. And here along the side of the trail, we have a fairly common sight. The remains of turtle eggs. Probably a raccoon found a nest and dug them up, had a nice meal. This is part of the main, what I call the main throughway, one of the dividing paths between where the water flows in from the west, flows this way and goes out to Lake Hancock. And here is one of just a few drainage ports that is designed to slow down the flow of water so that sediments can drop out of the water and pollutants can be picked up and utilized by the water plants, such as nitrogen and phosphorus. And as you can see, they attract the wildlife looking for a meal. The bird is a night-crowned, is it night-crowned? Black-crowned night heron. Yeah, black-crowned night heron. This area is another good example of how they control the water. The water's flowing in this way and comes to these pipes, and it looks like there's just 3 or 4 pipes here. But if you look a little closer on this side, you'll see that they're all staggered different heights. And that's a passive way in which to control the water levels. As the water rises and more water needs to be filtered through, it rises up to the next pipe in line. So this one may flow, but these are dry. Water level rises up, this one will start flowing as well. Then this one will start flowing, and so on and so forth.